Manchester United and El Kanemi Warriors scorers are the same people. Anas Yusuf scoring
a lot of confidence. That is what we want.
A lot of confidence coming your way on the show. 360 Sports on Trust TV. Adeni Jishafe. When you look at Nigerian sports, it's always very interesting. That's our own. Nasarawa United versus El Kanemi that took place at Lafayette Township Stadium. A big one there. 7-goal thriller. It was a tough match, but El Kanemi, the visiting team, they were able to triumph, winning that game. And it was a tough one because almost all the home teams could not win their games on match day 3 of the MPFL. We'll be running through that and also talking about the weekend. A lot of activities in the world of sport. It's a weekend in the flash. You won't forget in a hurry. Anthony Joshua and Dubois, what they fight there. Someone said that particular heat was from the gods. What's the way to go? We also look at activities in the world of football, especially Man City, Arsenal. What happened? What about the hot blood between the two teams? Not forgetting West Ham, Chelsea. That's a big one for the Blues. At least they were able to do it. The Battle of London was always a very tough one against West Ham at the London Stadium. They triumphed. And right now, the Chelsea fans are smiling. And I have one in the studio who's already smiling at me. Good to have you on the show. You're frowning.
Good morning. I want to ask, who's the Chelsea fan here? Am I here as a fan? Or I'm here
at
as
least,
a sport analyst.
I need to appreciate.
I wanted to answer that.
I want to appreciate the fact that you're wearing blue, even though it's not the dark blue or the blue of Chelsea. This is Manchester City blue.
Blue is my favorite color because the sky is always blue. Okay, thanks Adeni, and it's my pleasure being here once again. And when you see a good football, when you see something good, you really have to really appreciate it. Irrespective of how much you hate Chelsea, probably because some of their fans are very lousy, they are very mouthed, and they are the Agueros of Nigeria, as people normally call them. You can't take it away from the current Chelsea squad that what they are doing is they are doing very, very well. But to me, they've not arrived yet until they try to repeat the same Chelsea that went 86 matches for 4 years, unbeaten at home, until they match that record, until we see this same Chelsea team and match the record of scoring, being the first Premier League to score 103 goals in a season. That was the 2009-2010 season, until I see the current squad of Chelsea to meet the record of 2004-2005 of conceding only 15 goals in a season. Then you can now say that, oh, Chelsea have arrived. But for now, 4 or 5 matches, you can't say that they've really arrived. Because in football, consistency is very, very, very key. Okay. Like some people normally call the Arsenal team that they are consistent in failure. Because for the past 18-19 years, they've been consistently coming second, third. So that is consistent on their own part. So what we want Chelsea to do this time around is to be consistent when it comes to them achieving what they used to. So as far as I'm concerned, they've not arrived yet.
Why are you actually saying that they are yet to arrive and then throwing that jab against the Gunners?
It's not a jab, it's a reality, like, it's a comparison.
Anyway, well, we hold that Chelsea, West Ham, Man City, Arsenal later, just to give at least an overview of what happened during the weekend. We know that as it is, in the MPFL, one you saw earlier there, Nasarawa El Kanemi. What's the match as it went down in Lafayette? Let's look at the first story. MPFL match day 3, a weekend of surprises. Really, all the away teams that traveled, they were able to get a win. It was a fantastic performance from all the teams. The one that did not win get a draw. If you look at how the result is, and also the table, we'll look at that together. And to let you know that it was really a week of surprises for all the teams. Look at that, 7-goal thriller, El Kanemi, Nasarawa United, Lobby Stars, the same stadium. That was actually, that's Lafayette Stadium, where Lobby lost against Rivers United, 1-0. Nasarawa United against El Kanemi 4-3. So look at the goals scored. There are 8 goals in 2 matches. Plateau United also lost at home against Nigerian United, Tornadoes. That's the derby. And also you look at Sunshine Stars, they play goalless against Abia Warriors. Kano Pillars lost at home against Remo Stars. Heartland against Katsina 0-0. Kora United, Ikorodu City 0-0. You look at the away teams really doing wonderfully well. Match day 3. What's a really very surprising for the weekend of match day 3.
Okay, and I won't say it is surprising. I will say it is a new development. I will say this is what we are looking forward to see in the NPFL in this country, and not a situation whereby before you even play, your own match, you'll have recorded 3 points. But now let them see that, okay, it is not about you being at home, you get your 3. Academy can travel and come to Nasarawa and defeat us. So that shows we too we can travel and do the same thing. If Remo Star can travel all the way from Ogun State, they go to Kano and they defeated
with the support that Kano Pillars get at Sani National Stadium.
Yes. And they were able to defeat them. It will also give the Kano players the confidence that, okay, if Remo Star can do this, which we can, so it's going to make the football to be very, very interesting, enticing, entertaining, and it will give us the confidence to go to the field to watch the good football that we have been praying to see. So I think kudos to everybody this time around.
Well, for the fact that MPFL, we always need to at least brand our own. It's getting better, no matter how slow it is. It's really getting better. We need to appreciate what they are doing. You saw that match there between Nasarawa United and El Kanemi. 7-goal thriller. Plateau United lost at home against Nigerian Tornadoes. North Central Derby. Remo Stars away to Kano. They won at the Boisterous Stadium, Sani Abacha Stadium. What a match. And you look at really, officiating is getting better, where teams can easily go to another home team and defeat them. So we want to see more of this, and really our football can get better, and really we can do more business when it comes to doing it right about sport development in Nigeria. Right now we have another guest joining us from Lafia, Nasarawa State, a sport journalist, who also double as the Secretary of Sport Rights Association of Nigeria, Nasarawa State chapter, in the person of Abel Leonard. Good to have you, Abel. Okay, well, while we are actually hoping to hear you, you need to really unmute yourself so that we can hear your audio. Abel Leonard, they are joining us. From the way it is right now, we'll be joining you immediately you are able to get us. Let's quickly run through this. While we're talking about the MPFL, I know you were there. You were there on that particular match between Nasarawa United and El Kanemi. It was a live show. What a 7-goal thriller as it went down there. Just a little review of that match before we move to another topic on the show. Abel Leonard, good to have you.
Yes, Adeni, thank you very much for having me this morning. I'm not taking this privilege for granted. Yes, I was at the stadium that very day, and it was a thriller for a match that the Nasarawa United fans were anticipating that they were going to, win. They were leading 2 goals to 0 before it became something that a lot of people didn't really understand what actually happened at the Nasarawa United team. But then it's football. It has to tell you that teams at the NPFL have improved and they've been able to get the right players to play the Nigerian Professional League. And of course, kudos to the referees. They have been doing a lot of job trying to ensure that the game is transparent. The game is not something that you feel you're at home. You can just win matches like that. So it was a match that every fan of the Nasarawa United team, they were disappointed. Actually, they were disappointed because we saw how the team were playing in the first 15 minutes where they got those 2 goals, and all of a sudden we didn't know what happened, and it became 4-3.
Didn't know what happened. Became 4-3. Sounds like magic, Abel. That's football, At times when you
I actually like magic,
get to pick on your mistakes and they capitalize on it. Although we've been talking concerning the MPFL, and it's getting better because you look at all the home teams, they were able to win their games, just like the guest in the studio, Lawal, actually said that it's getting better because the officiating at least speaks volume for the fact that all the home teams, gone are those days where you see those away teams, they will not be able to do it. No matter how good they are, the home must win mentality is now becoming a thing of the past in the Nigerian Premier Football League. That's a good one there. Well, just to take a shot from you, just little one, concerning I'm sure you were also at the National Youth Games. Briefly, what can you pick from the National Youth Games that actually concluded in Asaba?
Yes, I saw I saw some young lads, some young athletes who I believe are going to make Nigeria proud. I also witnessed some kind of age cheating, even though they say under 15. We, as sport writers, we came to a conclusion that some of the athletes we saw physically are not actually under 15. Some of them are above 20 or thereabout. And we came together and we came up with a communique, trying to explaining to the Ministry of Sport to ensure that when you say underage, when you say under 15, we should have good screening processes. They should have biodata of all the athletes that are going to participate. Overall, it was a good competition, but these are some of the challenges that I actually personally witnessed. The age cheating is still a lot of states didn't come with young people that they should groom, but rather they came to win gold. Some came to just win gold. That is what they feel that their various governors will want to hear, but not minding that look, you have to catch them young from the grassroots. You need to put young people so that even if they are not getting it now, as they grow, they will get it. But that didn't happen. I can only say one of two states. I wouldn't want to mention name that actually brought young athletes to compete, even though they didn't get the much expected. You could see their athletes that they are under 15 now. That a state like Nasarawa, for instance, came with under 15, athletes, and you are meeting a state that came with probably under 20, 21 to 25. Then their competition will not be the same. You expect the overage athletes to overrun the young athletes. So these are some of the challenges. But then overall, the Delta State government did their best. They've been hosting this. This is this is the 8th edition, and this is the second time they are hosting, and they are also going to host for next year and the next 5 years. So we want an improvement. We want something, because during the speech of the Minister of Sport, he mentioned something very clearly that it is important that they're going to review the age limit for that competition. Probably they will take it back to the under 17 of what it used to be, which some of us probably we want something like that, because you can't expect a 15-year-old child to be competing with an athlete that is above 20. So overall, the competition was okay. I will give these are some of the challenges I actually personally witnessed.
Okay, just to have an overview of the National Youth Games that was concluded in Asaba, and at least we'll be having a time with Abel Leonard, sport journalist from Nasarawa State. That's the Secretary of SWAN there. But right now, let's look at the bigger picture. At the Olympics, 2024 Paralympic Games, Sports Minister to set up investigative committee. That's the story we're looking at next. We saw what happened at the Olympics. Let's take that story, talking about the 2024 Paralympic Games, to set up investigative committee. That's Sports Minister John Owa-Eno. And we look at the investigative committee being set up by the minister. Let's have that quickly so that the guests can also run through this. From the way it is now, the Federal Minister of Sport Development has convened the Paris 2024 Olympic and Paralympic post-games audit and review meeting for today. Those invited to the meeting are President and Secretary General of NOC and Paralympic Committee of Nigeria, PCN, President, Secretary General, Technical Directors, and coaches of all 12 sports to the Olympics and all 4 sports to the Paralympics. Member of the Ministerial Podium Performance Committee, Head of Technical Department of the Ministry, and then they appointed 7 Nigerians who will be investigating negative exposures at the 2024 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Has to do with the veteran journalist Mumuni Alao from Southwest as the chairman, Aliyu Muhammad from Northwest as member, Hajiyaru Kia Muhammad, North Central as member. You have Godwin Enahina, also a sport journalist, a member, Abubakar Ango, that's a Northeast member, Chrissy Okpara from the Southeast member, and Barrister Victor Okambe as the secretary of that investigative committee. Right now, their job is to find out what really happened, what went wrong. That a lot of issues that came up. Is it Phillips case that couldn't run for 100 meters? Is it about the issue of 12 billion That's another big deal. Is it about the entire team Nigeria, an able-bodied athlete that couldn't win medal? In fact, it was a painful experience over there in Paris. In fact, a lot of people said, Abiden Jazos. That's coming from Nigeria. That's African mentality anyway. Then the Paralympians, they were able to turn things around. At least they were able to win some medals for Nigeria.
Okay, this is expected. And one good thing about the government of the country is that you can predict what they can do and what they cannot do. I don't think what we need is investigative committee. What we should be looking at for is fact-finding mission. It's different from you are investigating them. We all knew what happened. In fact, the minister himself needs to be investigated because everything stopped on his desk. So we have to take it from the beginning to the end if we want to get it right. Yes, do we need to know what really happened? We do need to know what happened. But we don't need to go in a way that we are investigating them because we thought, no, we knew what happened. One, lack of preparation. That is number one. You don't need anybody to tell you this. We all knew that we did not prepare for it. We have jamboree of sporting activities before the Olympics without streamlining it to a particular set of this is what we are looking for. Youth festival, national festival, state festival. What do we need all this for? So there's a need for us to have a defined goal for all these sporting activities. For example, if you are doing the youth, national youth sport
games
festival or game that we are doing, the aim is to get people that will represent us in the Olympics, in all the sporting activities. But we don't do that. We just have program upon programs. And when it is now time for us to go for the Olympics, it's either the federation, the basketball, they're having issue as an association. The wrestler, they're having issue as an association. The athletics also, they're having issue. So when you did not put your house in order, how do you now want to go there and perform? Then number two, the issue of money that's been spent. I'll be honest with you. I don't have a problem if you spend 12 billion, 15 billion, or even 20 billion. But what is the return on investment? What did we get in return for the money that we've spent? We didn't get anything in it. So all these are the issues that we already knew that these are the problems that we have. Instead of setting up a committee that can take 6 months or 1 year to come up with whatever their issue is. So we don't need that. What we need is to develop a policy. Just like the former Minister of Youth Sport and Development, Sunday Dare, did before he left. What happened to that? Is it 10 years master plan that he did? What happens to it? Who is looking into it? What are the things that we need to do that we did not do? So is it that when a government comes, you come with your own people and it has to be with their own new idea? Government is continuity. Irrespective of who comes in, once you have a very good plan on ground, you should be able to follow it through. Now, if this investigative committee, they came up with another strategy, another plan, apart from what we have on ground. So that means we're digressing again. In the next 2 or 3 years, another government comes in and they have their own sport minister and they will have their own. That is not how it runs. What needs to be done is to call in the stakeholders of all the sport men and women we have in this country. Okay, when it comes to the Olympics, what do we really need to do? And we shouldn't be taking it at Olympics. We should be taking it as a sport in general. Olympics, Nations Cup, World Cup, WAFU Cup, whatever it is. So we should have we should have it holistic and look for what the problem is, what will be the solution. We have short, medium, and long-term plans of how to address them one after the other. I think that's the way forward. Not setting up this committee at the end of the day, we'll still come here and said they are setting up another committee to investigate this same committee also.
Well, also that something gets right when it comes to Nigerian sports. Leonard, From the way it is right now, an investigative committee is set up by the Minister of Sport Development, John Owa Eno, to see into the Olympics. And I'm sure you have something to say about this quickly.
Yes, I was just laughing when your guest there was trying to analyze analyzing the reason why that that investigative committee should not be taken seriously. Truly speaking, I'm just saying this because I feel it is what Nigerians will be thinking as well. Now, the minister, to me, he is trying to vindicate himself. He's trying to, pretend as if he didn't know exactly what happened during the Olympics and the Paralympics. Now, you can't put something on nothing and you expect a result. Sports in general is not cheap. Now, if you must get a result in any sporting activity, you must know that you must prepare. Now, when you don't prepare, you are bound to fail. That is the truth. So the committee, the investigative committee that is set up, I wouldn't know if the committee is to investigate the people that went there, or they are to investigate the money that was spent that will never come back. This particular committee will be given money again, taxpayers' money, to also carry out this investigation. Now, who is spending? The ministry is spending more. You have spent money going to the Olympics. You have spent money doing nothing. Now you are still spending money for some persons to go and investigate the money you spent. Now, this is all jamboree. It doesn't make sense. An average Nigerian is seeing the Minister of Sport has not been sincere to the people. Now, he talks about, your guest talks about federations having issues. Now, these federations, whether you like it or not, anytime there is going to be a competition, whether national or international, you must always hear them having problems. Why are they having problems? Of course, it boils down to finance. It boils down to funds. Federations don't have budgets. It is when there are competitions that they try, sourcing money or monies to go and see how they can participate in that particular event they are invited. Now, these federations you're talking about don't have sponsors. Most of them are being sponsored by board members or by a particular person, probably the board chairman, who is well-to-do and probably wants to invest his resources. If there is anything that comes out from the ministry, they will also recoup it back. Now, what are we doing? What are the federations doing in order to get fund? If you are getting funding, you should be able to be preparing your athletes. Whenever there's a competition, you will not be running helter-skelter to go and get athletes that will represent your federation. Now, this all boils down to the Ministry of Sports. Now, the minister should go back to the drawing board. I want to commend the former Minister of Youth and Sport, Sunday Dare. He did a very good job. He tries to bring something new in sport, and it is from him. I got to understand that he was trying to see how he can bring corporate bodies to start running sport for Nigeria. That is what is obtainable anywhere in the world. The government compel corporate bodies to partner with the ministry to ensure that government don't carry the load alone. That for the fact that it is government, we'll still be having problems going to the Olympics or going to any international competition. Of course, you should know that federations, the ministry don't have budget for federation. So it is when they are going for competition that they release money, tokens to federations to prepare athletes. Who does that? Countries have passed that level. So we need to go back to the drawing board. There is a policy document by Sunday Dare when he was leaving the office. I remember during the National Sport Festival in Asaba in 2020. I remember very well that he came and explained in detail what that policy document will do for sport in Nigeria. Of course, there's no continuity, just like the guest said, there's no continuity. If there is continuity, by now, that policy document should be working. In that policy document, it is meant to compare corporate bodies to support sport in Nigeria. Adeni, whether we like it or not, we keep talking about these things until there is a budgetary allocation for federations to train athletes we're talking about Olympics, for God's sake. Preparations, some countries have started preparations immediately after the last Olympic. They looked at their failures and they try to work on their failures and see how they can build again. They have started already. We are talking about investigating what happened at the Olympics at this time. So I don't think that the minister is ready to actually push sport in Nigeria to the next level.
Leonard, please, we know that a lot of Nigerians are paying right now, but because of our time, we have other things to also run through. If we should take this topic alone, we won't leave the studio. But something must be done concerning this.
Sorry about that. Yes.
Hopefully, let's see what the investigative committee will come up with. They have been saddled with this particular responsibility. Let's see what they can actually come up with to say salvage our sport. And another one that we're going to be looking at right now, because no matter what we say right now, that committee has been set up, and let's see what they'll be coming up with there. Let's talk about Nigerian teams at the that's CAF interclub competition. That's going to be our focus quickly. Nigerian football clubs' poor performance in CAF competitions. You look at all the 4 teams that actually went for the CAF interclub competition, be it Champions League or CAF Confederation, is remaining just one. That's Eyimba International. Rangers are out. Remo Stars, El Kanemi, they've all been booted out from this competition. Now we have only one left. In fact, they have to play penalty to qualify for the group stage, talking about the big Eyimba. Now, we're looking at this and it's becoming something worrisome, because almost how many years now? All our teams are always booted out from the preliminary stage.
Yeah, and they will continue to be booted out until we do the right thing. See, football, it's business. Just like sports is business. You need money to really run the football business. Without doing that, we continue to lament. A few weeks ago, I gave an analysis of how much it costs a Nigerian team to go and play any intercontinental competition. At least they will spend minimum of 100 million to travel to either they are going to North Africa, South Africa, or Central Africa to go and play, because we know the rate of the dollar currently right now. So you have to book flight for them. If you cannot charter aircraft for them, they have to go through the normal route. You have to talk about their accommodation, their welfare. So that's a lot of money. So how many governments today, how many state governments will be able to afford and sponsor that? And don't forget, they are playing 3 matches away and they are playing 3 matches at home also.
In the preliminary stage.
So that means we are going to spend about between 250 to 300 million during that preliminary stage. Do we have the governor, the state governor that can do that? If not, a sport-loving governor like His Excellency Ojuzo Kalu. What he did with Eyimba when they won it back to back. So these are the things that we really need to look into. The preparation, look at Rivers United also. When His Excellency Wike, the current FCT minister, was the governor of Rivers State. When the season is on break, you have to send them outside the country. They went to Real Madrid in Spain to go and do training. That experience, that exposure. And they got to, I think, quarterfinal during that stage. So how many governors can afford that now? So what's the way forward? We have the solution. We have to bring in private partnership. We have to bring in private investors that needs to come in and invest and allow them to run the game of football like it is being run in other developed countries. So that is what we need to look into. If not, how much are we paying our players? They'll be owing the players. So you won't get the best out of them. Their welfareism is not being taken seriously. So the motivation is seriously not there. So I think that is what we need to look into. We need to look at the funding. How much is NFF allocating or giving to anything that qualify to play intercontinental in the country? How much are they giving them? What is the P&L of most of these clubs at the end of the season? So we have to look at the area of funding first. Do we have the infrastructure for them to even train, to even prepare, compared to the like of North African or South African side? So that's why they have been the one dominating year in, year out, and they will continue to dominate year in, year out until we do the right thing.
Well, doing the right thing is what we need right now for Nigerian football or sport, because we really have the human resources to run this. Well, but we don't be getting it right because we are doing it wrongly. And really, sport is business. Across the globe, a lot of nations have actually used sport to generate a lot of funds into their society. Nigeria also can use sport to fight a lot of vices that are actually affecting, especially insecurity, because a lot of youth are out there doing those things that we don't want them to do. They can actually go into sport and they will thrive, become breadwinner for their families. Well, we're focusing on the Nigerian Football Club's poor performance at CAF competition or in CAF competitions. Leonard, your turn quickly about this. He has mentioned fund, he has mentioned a lot of things, but let's speak from you quickly.
Yes, he has actually mentioned some of the basic things that are actually stopping us from competing in major competitions like CAF competitions. Now, football business is not cheap. It's not something you can just wake up in the morning and say, I want to set up a club and, I want to set up a club. I want to run the club the way you want. It's not something you can just achieve just like that. It's something that needs everybody to support. Now, yes, the government in Nigeria has a total of almost all the clubs in Nigeria. The government alone can't do exactly what to achieve in CAF competitions. A lot of people want to say that Eyimba of Aba had done it before, so what was the magic then? I would explain. The magic then was because there was this thing that was about Nigeria in terms of football. Now we were known then as a football country in Africa. A lot of African countries had not developed the level at that time, the level we were rather, and we had a couple of international players playing abroad. So, a lot of things were working for us, and that was also part of the things that were helping us to grow our local football, and that was why Eyimba Faba was doing well. Not because we have all the infrastructures around, not because we had people that were actually giving out their money to sport. It was just a business of the government and some few key stakeholders that were making it work. Now, this can only happen. We can only get results when we have corporate bodies, just like I mentioned earlier, when we have sponsors that will come, put their money in this business, let governments, have some percentage of a support they will render to the club, and let's have corporate bodies, running this club, and you will discover that we'll start having results. You understand? So I agree totally with your guest there that if that is not done, we will not get the maximum result we want to get. I want to say this, Adeni. Now, I want to commend the leadership of Benga Elegbele. He has been doing very, very well. So it is not about the leadership or the way our football is being run in Nigeria now. It's about how they can be funded or how they can be funded for them to match their other counterpart when abroad to play in competitions.
Okay, we've been talking concerning NPFL poor performance at the CAF interclub competitions, and both guests, Olawale Peters in the studio and also Abel Leonard, they've been able to make some point there, a valid point to see how we can rescue our teams from all the poor performances they've been showing at the CAF interclub, and hopefully something good will come our way. At least NPFL is getting better. And right now, let's go to the at least a big one that happened over the weekend. We know it was a tough fight, but Anthony Joshua didn't give his best. We're looking at heavyweight boxing. boxing now, where Joshua, what's next for him? That's the topic. What's next for Anthony Joshua after that 5-round defeat, knockout from Daniel Dubois, 27 against 34, and it was a tough one because he wasn't really expecting it. But after that particular fight, he brazened up and he came out saying, well, right now, to my fans out there, I'm not giving up. I'm still going to be there. Let's listen to him quickly before we come back to the studio.
Saying that we came up short, but look, we've got to look at all the positives. That's the mindset and that's the perspective that we have to have, a positive one, always. Look at what we've achieved in the space of 11 years. It's phenomenal. And I want to thank every single one of you that's been riding with me. What a roller coaster journey. But you know what the problem is that it's far from over yet. You know, we've done it once, we've done it twice. Doing it a third time hasn't been easy, but I believe it's something I can achieve. It's about making the right steps forward, working hard, improving, and it's got to come from here more than anything. It can't come from any external voices or influences. It's got to come from here. And it's only been a day, but when I sit back and I'm thinking, I know I got a lot of this, man. I know I got a lot of this. So yeah, just a video to say thanks for your support. Thanks for being on this roller coaster journey with me. Keep your seatbelts tight because deep, deep, deep down in here, I know we've got a lot more to bring. A lot more to bring.
A lot more to bring coming from Anthony Joshua, the one they call AJ. That fight against Daniel Dubois at the Wembley Stadium. He actually lost out and for an opportunity to face UC Tyson Fury. But there is a clause in that particular bout that he can still have a shot at Daniel Dubois again, even though Dubois camp is already saying they are looking at UC. UC has defeated Dubois before. That's a big one there coming from AJ. Quickly.
Okay. To answer your first question, what is next for him? He should just retire and go home.
Seriously?
Seriously. See, the truth is, if you watch the fight very well, I will call it a stage fight. I've never seen a situation whereby you are the one at the point, at the verge of winning the bout.
And you fell.
And you fell. Not that a particular jab. He has £6 million for this fight alone. And depending on the TV rights, they can rise up to 20 to 25 million pounds. So that means you cannot even take one punch and you just fell like that. And the next thing you came out, you are looking for a rematch. Come on.
I was inserted in the clause for him.
I didn't hear. Let's call a spade a spade.
Seriously giving up on Joshua?
I've given up on him because this is not the first time. This is not the second time. I'm one of his favorites. As in, he's one of my favorite boxers. Apart from being in Nigeria, he's someone that is very athletic. He's someone that needs to really. He's not supposed to be where he is currently right now. Take it or leave it. But I think the money in it is
tempting.
It's really, really tempting to.
Okay.
So the fact that he wants to go back again, have a rematch for every fight, there's that clause for a rematch. So as far as I'm concerned, I think you just look for something else and do.
Do you agree with that? Quickly, the short one, Abel Leonard, a short one, because you see, I'm talking about
I was laughing out myself here. Of course, Adeni, a lot of us that are his fans, we want to say that he was stage managed because I can't stay all night to watch Anthony Joshua in just one punch and he's down. And that was all. And I was wondering, are we still fighting again? And they said it was over. I couldn't just understand what actually happened. Now, I think I agree that he should just take a break. He should take a break. We are tired of all these. A lot of stories are coming out saying that it was stage money and the rest like that. I don't think we want to have time to watch Anthony Joshua again because AJ, to me, that was not the AJ I saw like I used to watch like years back. So he should just take a break and let us just think of something else.
Okay, while we are hoping that AJ, according to him, is still not giving up. He's going to come back, even though a lot of people are giving up on him. We'll cross over to the big one that happened over the weekend. Manchester City, Arsenal, quickly because of our time. From the way it is, it was a match that actually brought up a lot of bad blood between the two teams. Erling Haaland talking back at Mikel Arteta, throws a red card. A lot of issues here and there. Saying stay humble to that coach. A lot of people are like, what is happening to players these days?
Okay, and when you are controlling wealth that is more than your age, you will misbehave. take it or you leave it. And what Erling Haaland did to me is totally disrespectful. And this is not the first time that Man City players will be doing this to Mikel Arteta. I remember also KDB did the same thing. Gundogan did the same thing also. Probably because he was with them before. They didn't give him that respect as a full coach, being an assistant. But this is totally uncalled for. You don't know what will happen tomorrow. So you don't need to go to a coach and be tapping the coach that stay humble. Stay humble.
Because the same Arteta could actually be his coach later.
Definitely. How sure are we that when Pep Guardiola leaves Man City,
they won't come for him?
They won't come for Arteta. So I think you should trade carefully. Yeah, he's doing very well. 105 appearances, he scored 100 goals. You're a goal machine, you're a robotic Alan. But stay humble. Look at the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo.
So that statement should have been for him then.
He said what? He should be the one. He should have been the one to stay. To stay humble. It's totally uncalled for, especially in a tense match like that. I think he shouldn't have done that.
You shouldn't have done that. Where a lot of people are complaining concerning that. But I will take it from another angle with you, Leonard. You look at the referee of that game, Oliver's. A lot of people are complaining concerning the officiating of that particular match, Trossard issue, and a lot of other things. We do agree with people for the fact that Oliver did not do well in that game. He was twisting the game.
I don't agree with them. Oliver was able to manage, and I know a lot of people want to look at the red card shown to Trossard. Of course, those of us that know some of the rules that have been changed recently, we will know that Trossard actually committed a foul. And of course, when you play off the ball, you should know that you're getting a card. So it's normal. A referee can decide to overlook it and could also decide to, get a card, to give you a card. So it's normal. I know the Arsenal fans are happy with that, but Oliver was able to manage that game. Yes, briefly to what your guest there said concerning what Haaland did. I wonder why he was not fined. The FA didn't see anything wrong, with that. But I don't think it's correct. He should be fined. That was deliberate, So the referee, I agree, the referee did very, very well. He was able to manage that game to the last of it.
Well, talking about that particular match, just taking you back for what happened during the week, it was a tough one, and you also have to appreciate what they did in that game. Man City, Arsenal really are edging closer and closer. The way African teams are edging closer to Nigerian Super Eagles and Super Falcons, that's the way Arsenal and Man City are right now. It's getting really thinner and thinner every day. But the Battle of London, West Ham United, Chelsea, it was a fearful one for Chelsea fans because anytime they play at the London Stadium, it's always a tough one. But this time around, they went rampage, seriously, and they were able to silence the team from West. In fact, they could not believe their eyes when they saw those goals coming in. So West Ham versus Chelsea, what a match. Okay,
Adeni, quickly, I want to give an opinion on Michael Olivid.
Because of our time.
Yes, I think the problem with him is inconsistency.
Okay.
Now, the second yellow card to Trossard, well deserved because he kicked the ball. But what about the one that Doku did before the match? He kicked the ball also. And if you recall vividly, I will tell you this, it's the same Michael Oliver that gave Man City the Premier League last season. If you go back to the history and check, against Fulham, Man City, the offside goal, Chelsea, Man City, the foul by Grealish is the same one. Then the soft penalty, Manchester City derby, the same Michael Oliver. So to be honest with you, his inconsistency is a problem. So I think that needs to really be addressed. Then concerning Chelsea and West Ham, I don't know the reason why, maybe because of the current performance of Chelsea, that's why people are looking at it that, okay, it was 3-0, Chelsea ought to have done better. If you look at the head-to-head between Chelsea and West Ham, Chelsea is far ahead of them. They've met 55 times, Chelsea have won 30 times. They only managed to win Chelsea 15 times and they drew 10 times. So the record is already there, the history is already there. And the way Chelsea, they are going this time around, like I said earlier on, I'm not going to join those people that are praising them that they've arrived. No, not until they've played 15 or 20 matches like they did last season. The last 15 matches they played last season, they were very consistent. If they can go through that route again, 15 matches and they are consistent, winning, I would say that they've arrived. However, I think they've done very well. I'm particularly happy for Nicolas Jackson because it's like he has upped his game, he has improved in his assist and his goal scoring sense.
Okay, talking about Nicola Jackson there, B. Mikel, former Chelsea legend, actually make a point concerning him that, well, from the way it is, he's happy that Jackson is doing well right now. He's proving everybody wrong and he's playing well. And also on Caicedo, he also makes statement concerning that for those players from Chelsea. Well, good one for them, for at least they are doing well right now. You just can't take anything away from all the team from London. Talking about the Blues, Chelsea there. Well, before we go, we quickly have to look at this story for a Nigerian applying it straight over there in Montpellier, France. His name is Eko Adams. Eko Adams has done well, becoming part of the team of the week, League One team of the week. He was able to at least among the listed, and also the transfer is still on, no, even though it has closed, but there's always gossip concerning that. Everton, they have a new owner who right now wants to get Gareth Southgate as their coach if everything goes well, to replace Sean Dyche. And right now they're already eyeing the former England manager there to get him to sign for them to be at the coach as for this Impact team. Liverpool also, they are keen on Bayer Leverkusen. They want to get 3 players away from that club. Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, and also Ezekiel Palacios. They want to go for them and wonder what will happen to that team if they buy those players there. Well, Abel Leonard, I want to appreciate your time with us on the show. Thank you so much from Lafayette, Nasarawa State. Once again, thank you, Abel.
Thank you very much, Adeni.
Okay,
thank you very much.
And from Olawale Peters.
Thank you, Adeni.
Man City fan.
It's my pleasure being here. Man City fan, yeah. And they should be ready to relinquish at least 3 trophies based on the 105 breaches that they are investigating them on.
Okay, a big one there. We just have to run through all those stories for you on the show. 360 Sport, where sport is always business and fitness. I'm Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.